welcome everybody. It's Megan, the VoIP Brand Manager here at Soft Solutions, and with me is Matt Carey, our Senior Engineer.
Hello.
So the purpose of today's webinar is to pick up where we left off in 2019 with 2 or 3 webinars each month, just small little bites of news and information. And the focus of today's webinar is around update 4 that released the week of Christmas. So a lot of people probably haven't even had a chance to have a good look at it yet because everybody's just getting back from holiday. So I'm going to hand over to Matt. He's going to walk us through and I'll jump in and out. We'll finish with the usual questions and answers at the end. And if there's anything that comes up VoIP related that doesn't quite relate to this, feel free to throw those questions at us at the end of the webinar as well. So I'll hand over to Matt.
Awesome, thanks Megan. Welcome everyone. So this is our first webinar of 2020, very exciting. And yep, we're just going to have a quick look at what's come out in update 4. So key things here, of course, bug fixes, every new release has them. There's a new Chrome browser plugin, which we'll have a quick look at. There's some new stuff around backup protocols, and there's some newly supported phones as well. So the Chrome browser plugin is actually really cool. So it's available via the Chrome App Store. What's really nice about it is you can actually designate different audio devices from within as well. So you could say have a external speaker set to ringing so you can hear a call, but maybe using a headset for the call itself. So you can actually get granular with how it's set up, which is really, really cool. Also with the plugin, you can get a call when the browser is closed or minimized as well. So especially key here for new users. So typically in the past, what I've recommended to get them up and running with the web client was to set the web client login page as a default tab for when their browser opened. So this sort of eliminates that now. By having that plugin in place, they're still going to get calls and notifications from the plugin even if their browser's shut, which is really, really cool. We've got some new backup protocol support as well, and this is really important. A lot of people, and it was my general recommendation, especially at the 3CX training, was to have a offsite backup. Always good to have, regardless of the system, whether it's a PBX or a DC or an Exchange or SQL server, to get it offsite. So Google Drive support was in there, which was really cool because you got 10 gigs or so of storage for free. Simple backup with 3CX is only going to be a couple of hundred meg at most, so it was a really, really cool solution until Google decided to change a few things around how the security works with their API. And this caused a few issues. It was present on the forums. I'm always on the 3CX forums making sure we're up to date with all the latest goings on and issues for when you guys phone for support, so we stay ahead of the game. And this popped up quite frequently and is still popping up quite frequently. Now, one of the key things around the API changes was security, and the way that it worked was basically an IP address had to be whitelisted to access Google Drive. Now this is all well and good if you're running a smaller scale solution, but 3CX is massive. It's all over the world. You've got the likes of Harley and Bank of America using it, and notable customers in New Zealand as well. And that's a lot of IP addresses. And unfortunately, the new API layer doesn't have the ability to support that amount of IPs. So 3CX has introduced some new protocols to get around this. And the first of these changes is support for SFTP, FTPES. You can SH as well, and there's a blog post on the 3CX website on how to get that going. And finally, SMB. SMB isn't really a offsite so much as it is going to a local network share. However, this was requested for quite some time. A lot of people with their existing backup sets are going to a NAS or some sort of SAN filer that's got a share in place there. So that gives the ability to replicate backups there, which is really cool. There is a migration tool available on the 3CX website that allows you to pull those backups back down from Google Drive and then get them into a new instance. Update 5, we're looking at new support for AWS buckets and Google buckets and Amazon S3 as well. So that's going to be really, really cool because a lot of people are using these technologies. And again, notably, if you do face an issue connecting to a Google Drive, it is this new API. So, new phone support. So we've been waiting for this for a little while now. So we've now got official support for the Grandstream GRP series. So we've got the 26, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 in there, which is really, really cool. So that's your native plug-and-play provisioning. They'll work locally, they'll work with Stun, they'll work with a session border controller. And we've also got support in there now for the Yealink W80B, which is Yealink's new way of doing their portables. They're utilizing multi-cell technology, so you can have this device and have it on different floors. And then phones can run between them, still using DEC technology, of course. But again, very, very cool stuff. Miscellaneous, there's some bug fixes in there around DNS resolution and around getting intermittent cancels. And for usually we sort of mention what's on the roadmap. So there's a couple of things coming in update 5. Notably, there is that ability for offsite backup with AWS and Google buckets and S3. There is support coming for Apple's new push protocol, which 3CX is steaming ahead with because Apple is looking at revoking the old one in the second half of this year. So that's coming down the pipes, which is excellent. Being our first look of early SMS support with 3CX as well. So we don't know how this is going to operate at this point in time. 3CX have got it quite close to their chest, but this has been requested for some time. Other PBX platforms are already getting into this technology with SMS, and 3CX is now building that out as well. So very, very excited. It's been highly requested. When we've been out on the road doing demos and training, this is a common question that's popped up, and it will finally be here. And we expect to have an update 5 alpha or beta sometime soon. As Megan noted, update 4 released around the week of Christmas. It's been about a month now, so we should be seeing something soon. So definitely stay tuned to our newsletter and join our LinkedIn VoIP group as well to stay abreast of the news. And that's it, bite-sized.
Fabulous. If anybody's got any questions, if you pop them in the chat, we'll answer those as best we can. As Matt mentioned, update 5, we are expecting the alpha very soon. 3CX had a brief close down period over Christmas, but not as long as us here in New Zealand. So we would expect to see alpha in the next kind of probably 2 to 3 weeks is our best estimate, but that is just an estimation. And we'll keep you abreast of what is happening there. If there are any questions coming in, we can try and answer those, Matt.
Yeah, doesn't look like it.
Okay, so just to cover off the integration in update 4 for the GRP range. The GRP range is a new range of phones from Grandstream that released in the last couple of months of 2019. This is a carrier grade solution, but as you can see from the images that Matt popped up on the screen, they are very snazzy looking devices, and all parts of that range are now available. We're expecting stock in the next couple of weeks, so you can pre-order those if required. We do have another webinar coming up on Friday, same time, midday, and this is actually going to take a sneak peek at a new portable phone coming from Grandstream called the WP850. They have released some sneak peek information to distribution around this new phone, and I can tell you it's a real game changer from what we are seeing. So we'll run through that on Friday, along with kind of scenarios photos of where that phone would be really useful within a VoIP solution. So if you haven't already registered, the link was within the email that Matt sent out inviting you to today's webinar. So feel free to jump on and add that, or if you've lost that email, zip us an email at voip@softsoul.co.nz and we can send you a link so that you can register. So
Cool.
I don't think there's any questions. So with that, we'll wrap up our 10-minute bite-sized webinar and thank everybody for joining us. We will make this available online for anybody that has missed it. And we look forward to catching up with you all on Friday.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.